Bring it.
All right. All right. Our predictions for all of college football. Again, guys, let us know what your predictions are for the same topics in the chats. We want to know what you all think as well. Beginning with this, who will be the Pac 12 champion this season, Chris?
You know what? Everybody loves USC. Give me Michael Penix Jr. and the Washington Huskies.
Hmm.
Stole my pick. I think Washington is primed for a good year,
I
and I
agree.
think Michael Penix Jr. is a Heisman candidate, and I think he can outplay. I think he can outplay uh, Williams.
Caleb Williams, yeah.
I do. So that's my pick. Brian Ober says USC is his, and Chris corrected us.
The Pac.
Pac 4.
Well, for one more year, they're the Pac-12.
Well, they're about to be the Pac 2, guys.
Yeah, yeah. What you got, Aaron?
I said USC, and I know
Okay.
that their defense does not look great, and they had a very
No.
poor first half against San Jose State yesterday. All right. However, I think that they will do just enough, and they do got the offensive firepower. That is Lincoln Riley's MO. That's what he does is offensive firepower. I think they can get it done.
All right. Next up, I believe, was the Big 12, Aaron.
Big 12, I'd love to say Texas, but I'm not a fan of Quinn Ewers.
You don't like the
It's,
hair?
dude, ever since I seen him in high school, he just
You
does not.
you
I don't.
you
He's
were
just
you were not a fan of his film.
No.
he looked like crap. He looked even worse in person. Like it's one you can throw together a whole film 10 minutes worth of long passes like he did and look like $1,000,000. But, and don't get me wrong, he's gotten better in college. Okay. But I don't know that he's the greatest 5-star to ever come out of high school like they said he was. That's all I'm saying. All right. So with that, I'm going to say Oklahoma wins the Big 12.
All right. You and Brian agree. I am going with Texas. Chris, what do you got?
Yeah, I think Quinn Ewers knows this is his only chance to get it done with Arch Manning right behind him.
Yeah.
I think he goes out and does it. I think Texas wins the Big 12.
Okay. Chris actually, I think Chris and Aaron are like related or something.
Might be.
QE. Quinn Ewers is overrated.
Don't
Uh,
disagree.
Brian says that he thinks if Archie takes over, then it could be Texas. So a little QB controversy there is what could happen there. I just think Texas is ready.
Yeah, it's been too long for him.
I mean, you do realize Kansas State won this thing last year, and they returned like the majority of their team.
My issue is
But
Steve Sarkeesian.
Ewers was injured quite a bit last year.
Yeah.
He
Hmm.
had Oklahoma on the ropes before that injury, or not
Had
Alabama rather on the
yeah.
ropes
Yeah.
before his injury.
Chris is rooting for West Virginia. Pipe dream, buddy.
You know what? I'd love to see it.
Me too.
Mountaineers. All right. That's up. After that one is ACC. ACC. Oh no, it's going to be Florida State, and it's going to be a 2-loss Florida State team probably. Chris.
Yeah, I'm with you, Eric. I think a lot of people are talking about Clemson again. No, let me tell you something. We broke them. They've never been fixed since. It's Florida State.
Everybody's saying Florida State. Dude, no. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This is no. Those days
Wake
are over,
Forest.
guys. No, their quarterback left them. That Sam Hartman, is that his name?
Yeah.
He's back for his like 9th year of eligibility somehow at Notre
He's
Dame. I
24.
don't know.
He's 24 years old.
He's thrown for more yards in college than Drew Brees did in the pros. I don't know how you're around long enough to do that, but I'm going to stick with Clemson.
Okay.
Defense.
All right. We have a pit here going to make some noise.
Yeah.
Robert Allen says Washington in the Pac-12 and K-State in the Big 12. A couple purple teams, the purple people eaters. All right, so let's go with the next one being the SEC. Paul Feinbaum and the SEC is going to pick who this year, Aaron?
Oh, gosh.
Ding.
He's going to say Alabama. I think a lot of people would say Georgia, and I understand that. I get it. They've recruited extremely well. they've got the guys, the whole next man up mantra. They can support that the way that we would like to. They're able to. But I think that Nick Saban, 2 years not winning it, or what is it? It is 2 years, right? Georgia won SEC 2 years straight.
They won the
just
national
one.
championship 2 years straight, but they only won the SEC once.
Okay, well, either way, this Nick Saban only loses every other year at the most, and he lost last year, so it's time for a bounce back.
Yeah,
you
we
agree,
say the same
you
thing
agree
about,
with every person on College Game Day yesterday. They all picked Alabama, every one of them.
It's hard to argue.
Yeah, you're using the Patty Fitz every other year system there, Aaron. That's not so great.
It's not, but
Let me tell you, I think Georgia has a cakewalk to the SEC championship game. I don't even think Alabama gets there. I think it's LSU from the other side that gets there. And I'll tell you what. Let me tell you why, Eric. Let me tell you why.
It ain't going to be because of Brian Kelly. I know that.
Or Jaden Daniels.
Alabama has to play Texas in week 2. They have to play Tennessee, which are 2 ranked teams that LSU avoids. We always, mock Alabama's schedule. Man, LSU has an easier schedule than Alabama by far. In fact, the only game they really play is against Alabama. So I just think LSU has the ability to overcome them. I really do.
If you all think Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs saw what college...
But Georgia comes out of there. So...
Okay. If you all think Georgia saw what College Game Day did by picking Bama, every single one of them, and think that they're going to be like, oh, this ain't motivation material, then you don't know college football.
Kirby Smart's the best coach in college football right now. Saban's days have passed.
I agree with that.
So yeah, good questions, guys. I love all the comments coming through there. Next up, we have your Big Ten champion. Who's it going to be? I'm picking the Buckeyes. Aaron?
You already know. Ohio State. Come on now.
Yep, I agree. They back their way into the championship game, but I think they beat Wisconsin for the second time to win the Big Ten.
Yeah, my predictions: Wisconsin will be 11-2 this season during the season before their bowl game. They'll be 11-2 with both losses being Ohio State.
I agree.
That's my prediction. Brian says Ohio State and Michigan loses at least 2. Oh, he's picking Ohio State.
Okay.
Michigan loses at least 2 games.
Got it. Okay. I thought he was saying they were both going to lose.
That.
And Alex is still stuck on semi-pro.
You should maybe stop drinking, bud. There's work tomorrow. Perhaps not for you. I don't know.
Oh, Chris, I wouldn't be joining this podcast if my beloved Buckeyes weren't going to win the Big Ten. Chris, you did pick Ohio State as well, right?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say, wait a minute. There is a scenario that exists, and I believe we might see it this year, where Penn State, Team Up North, and Ohio State are all 11-1, where they each beat each other. And in that scenario, if you look at how the Big Ten structures who goes in to represent that division, I think Ohio State is going to win out because they will have the stronger strength of schedule based off conference games and then also non-conference games too with playing Notre Dame. So, yeah, I think that Ohio State, there's a scenario where Ohio State loses to either Penn State and or the Team Up North and still gets to win the Big Ten, which leads me to a prediction I have later on here, which we will get to right now. Your CFP Final Four. Here's my Final Four. Georgia, Ohio State, Penn State, and that Team Up North. 3 Big Ten teams. The SEC 1-3 last year. They almost had it. They probably would have had it if Tennessee wouldn't have stumbled. I think it can happen Now, you're going to need a lot of help. You're going to need a lot of teams to be 2-loss champions for that to take place. But how do you justify putting a 1-loss Ohio State or a 1-loss Penn State or a 1-loss team up north in when they've all beaten each other? That's my prediction. That might be the craziest one. Chris.
I almost agree with you, Eric. I got Ohio State. I've got Georgia. I've got Penn State. I think that and we know that they're not supposed to, but based on the last 2 years flub ups in the CFP, they find a way to leave that team up north out and instead put in an undefeated Texas. We'll address that again later, by the way.
Okay. Aaron?
You crazy girl. All right. My CFP. I think it's Ohio State. I think USC gets in. And I know that's everybody can be like, what? No, USC, Pac-12, Pac-0, whatever. Ohio State, USC, Alabama, and Clemson. Although I certainly do see the appeal for Florida State, I do see it for Georgia as well. And if I had to substitute one of those, I would say Georgia in place of USC. But that's my 4 right now.
Jeremy says he believes the team up north will be a 3-loss team, which leaves OSU, Georgia, Washington, and Tennessee.
As much as I'd love to see it, there is no way that team up north loses 3 games this season.
I don't see it. It would take some serious injuries for that to occur, I think.
And they've got, you know what? They don't have to worry about Harbaugh sitting out the 3 games because they've got 6 assistants to fill in. They got 6 head coaches on the sideline up there, Eric. They're good.
Yeah, but dude, those are games, like I said earlier with Ohio State, like Michigan doesn't even need coaches out there to win those games.
Right.
That's ridiculous. That's like Alabama against Mercer. It's ridiculous.
Your Heisman Trophy winner is going to be who, Chris?
I talked about him earlier. I think it's Michael Penix Jr. I think he edges out Caleb Williams and Travion Henderson to win it.
Marvin Harrison Jr. I'll say it. I'll go crazy. It's fine. Everybody in the comments, Alex would, mainly just Alex. Will be like,
I'd love
hey.
to see it, Aaron. I'd love it.
I'd love to see it
too. He is
too.
the best player in college football, but
I agree. I think that it's just going to depend on can they get the ball to him.
Yeah.
That's really what it's going to boil down to.
You're not alone. You're not alone. Brian Lee Oberst agrees with you.
My guy.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And Chris wants to know why we're hating on Mercer.
I don't even know where Mercer is.
Isn't that? Wait, no. Isn't Mercer like an infection?
That's MRSA.
Same thing.
Let me tell you, I know it's in Pennsylvania because Mercer County, Pennsylvania is where I was once attacked by a pig. I'm just going to leave it at that.
You got attacked by a pig?
A guard pig.
Sweet!
Yeah, right? A guard pig. I don't know if I can look at you the same anymore, Chris.
Man, I was doing collections at the time. That's all I'm going to say.
Did you have a GoFundMe page?
No. That'd be great, though. We didn't have GoFundMe in those days, Eric.
Oh, my bad. My bad. Michael Penix Jr. is my pick, guys. Yes, Chris, I agree. This is something we need to explore on the podcast in the future. Absolutely.
We're already in overtime. No time to discuss it now.
Chris, the day I got MRSA from a pig.
What? He got Mercer from a pig.
Bing, bing, ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
This thing went off the rails. All right, your crazy college football prediction. I'll go first. This is my crazy prediction. Jim Harbaugh never coaches for Michigan again. He doesn't come back.
Reason?
He's suspended. And I think that there's still rumors that it might be more. He doesn't come back, and he goes to the NFL. That's my crazy prediction. Probably not true, but this is crazy. Either way, I do believe this is his last year.
No, that's completely valid.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Well, who's
next?
up? Aaron, you want to go?
Yeah, sure, man. Just because they play this commercial, every other commercial, I'm going to say Colorado loses only one game this season in prime
What?
time's first season, and it's to USC.
That at that point, does not ESPN try to find a way to get them in the college football playoff because of prime time?
Oh,
Listen,
yeah.
they're angling for it already. That's why I said they play that stupid commercial every other
Oh,
commercial. It is
look
the
at-
most annoying crap to me.
Look at this one.
I don't even like Deion Sanders now. I
Here's-
used to love him.
I think this is Robert's Heisman pick. I think it's coming in a few minutes late here. Kyle McCord.
You know what? I'd love to see it happen.
Same. I'd love to see it happen, but
If that happened, is not Ohio State national champions?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, come
they'd
on.
have to be. They'd have to be.
Yeah. Brian says Nick Saban retires at the end of the season. I've made that prediction 2 years in a row.
I was gonna
it hasn't
say-
happened yet.
You know what? Let me
We'll
just
just-
jump on this. After suffering 3 losses this season, Nick Saban retires after his second multiple loss season.
You know, guys, we keep saying it, and it's like playing the same lottery numbers every time, hoping that you'll win with it. But
Eventually you win.
eventually you will. So we'll just keep saying it.
Eventually we're going to be right. We're like, we told you.
Yeah, yep, that'll be us in 10 years. Yep. Nick Saban gonna be 86 years old.
Oh,
Sounds
Prime
like a new
goes
30 for 30.
Prime goes 11-1. Sounds like a new 30 for 30. Yes,
Well,
it
yeah, think
does.
about it. Think about it. What underhanded tactics did he have to pull to get the players already on scholarship there, first of all, to leave, but then he went and poached the transfer portal to build this team? Now, I know all it takes is money, but Colorado, they don't have that kind of backing.
Worked in East Lansing a few years ago.
If Day loses to the team up north, Brian Hartline takes the head coaching job at OSU. It's not crazy.
No.
Oh.
No, that's not crazy at all. I'm not sure I'm comfortable with it, though.
I'm not either. Yeah. I think if that were to take place, your next coach is over in Madison, Wisconsin or South Bend, Indiana.
I would throw one down in Tennessee our way too.
Eddie?
No, Vrabel. He's in the last year of his contract.
NFL. He's too NFL.
He's
You've got to be willing to sacrifice so much to be a recruiter in college that you just don't in the NFL. He left the college game to go back to what he was familiar and comfortable with in the NFL to start with. So he could have stayed at Ohio State, forever. Urban loved him. I mean, they butted heads, but Urban likes another alpha who's willing to butt heads with him. He like gets some respect from that.
Hey, I know
Iron
this.
sharpens iron.
And
Urban never-
Vrabel
Urban never
was
tried
willing to
kick
do
him.
it. Well, he wasn't a kicker, Chris.
No, that's
He was a linebacker.
right.